Watch me build a perfect AI agent in 45 seconds. That took others 7 days. The secret? My gut prompt method that I spent over 2 years mastering and literally countless reiterations. These 7 building blocks make flawless agents on the first try. No coding, no guessing, no fails. Businesses pay $5,000 or more for what you'll now create in 10 minutes flat. Stop wasting time on bad prompts and start making the perfect agents today. Let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to start with the agent data, right? So I currently don't have the fully structured agent data for this new agent that I'm building. So as an example, we want to build an agent that it's gonna give out prompts to generate images for our ads. Okay, so we're gonna use image generator, which is this one, Black Forest Labs Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra, and it's basically we need a agent that is going to generate these prompts effectively and detailed enough to create high-performing ads for lead generation. And you see that this prompt generated this image, right? You can still, so you can generate pretty much anything. It's real cool. So we're gonna give it a try at the end. But right now what I did to create this data, first thing is I had this class, this meta photo ad types class that I did for one of our junior lead buyers, media buyers. So it's about an hour long. And what I did was uploaded it to YouTube. And cool thing about YouTube is that it has transcripts. So it literally can transcribe for you the whole video. So I have the whole text here, transcribed, which I copied and put in a doc. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this text and we wanna use Claude to pull out all the learnings from this text, all the frameworks and pretty much everything from it, which I have this little prompt that we're gonna utilize and you're gonna get as well, which I want to pull the context, foundational knowledge, thought patterns, methodological process, practical application, on and on and on. So very detailed that I want to pull out from it. And why we want to do this is because we can still do and just give all the information that we have. Like I could literally just copy this whole thing and then have 2 more documents with examples for the type of ads that we generate. And this. So I could literally give the AI all of it in one shot and just kind of let it figure it out by itself. But one thing to really understand when you're dealing with this language models is that you want to take the tasks that you want to give it and break it down in chunks, because it performs the best when you chunk it down into smaller tasks and then you put them all together versus giving all of it in one shot and then let it do its thing. You can get a decent output or a good output that way, but the best possible output you're gonna get is when you chunk it down and have it smaller tasks for it, okay? So we're gonna use Claude for this. I like using the extended version of it, the 3.7, because it's going to think longer and it's gonna give you longer outputs as well when you're dealing with a lot of information. So first thing I want to give this prompt, which is the transcription extraction prompt. I gave it to it. And then I'm gonna tell it, when it's a big chunk of text, it's gonna put it in here, down here, okay? But it doesn't mean that it's not in the actual prompt. And then what I wanna tell it is this is the transcript for our video. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the transcript, copy the transcript and paste it here. Okay, so another big chunk of text. So I'm gonna send it over and we're gonna allow it to do its thing. So it's gonna think, it's gonna process, so let's give it some time. Okay, so now it generated the whole document. Now, the only thing here is that this document was created for marketing strategies for loan products, particularly targeting Gen Z audiences, right? So it extracted the information here on the right side. Now, since we want to create a general agent for this and give it general specific frameworks, not just for loan products. It's just that this class was had a lot of examples on loan products. Okay. And what we want to do is, okay, since we already extracted the information, now we're going to say, hey, we want to make sure this data is geared towards general marketing frameworks, not just for loan companies and Gen Z. Okay, so I want to make sure that it takes that information and not just use it for the loan products, right? Because we want a general agent for this. Okay, now one thing to keep in mind when you're building these prompts is 3 little things on every single time that you're gonna utilize to either build a prompt, an agent, or get a specific output and just better the output. It's 3 things: present, perfect, and probe. Every single time. Present, perfect, and probe. So we presented the information first, which was our first action. Okay, we gave all the data that we had. Now we're going to perfect it. So once we get an output, we want to gear it towards exactly what we're looking for if it's giving us a different information. And then we're going to probe it to see if we can make it better. Okay, which I'll show you in a second. But right now it's generating. Okay, boom. So now it basically generated, okay, we generated this document with more generalized information. You see on the right side, it just edited it. And you can see version here, version 2 of 2. If you go back, you can see the first version. Next, you just keep reiteration the versions, and you're gonna see the latest version in here. Okay, so pretty much added the whole information. Okay, good. So now we have the extracted info. Now we can ask, let's probe it. Now, please check the whole transcript again and find out if we are missing something. If so, add it to the document. Okay. So we're basically probing here now. Hey, are you sure this is it? Are you sure we're good? We have everything. So it's quality check. Okay. And I really like doing this at the end or at some point in the middle, because sometimes I miss stuff and it doesn't really pull 100% of everything. So it's good to keep having it double check for anything else that's missing. See, it's editing stuff right now. So now let's give it some time. All right, so if you see here, after carefully reviewing the transcript again, updated the training documents with several important concepts that were missing or deserved more emphasis, right? So there's a bunch of stuff that I missed. It added it here, and now we have a very comprehensive document that we can utilize, okay? So now let's say we have the first document ready, and this is like our structures and frameworks, right? So we do have 2 more training documents that I want to give this agent to help us out, flush out the specifics that we need, right? So we have 2 things. We have the different templates, examples, and we have the different type of ads in here with some more information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop both PDF files in here, and I'm going to tell it, now that we have this framework info or document, let's now utilize this 2 documents with examples of the different type of ads or lead generation ads. Okay, so this is me basically going back into present, perfect, and probe. Okay, so we finished the first part of it because so we're breaking the agent info in smaller tasks. Okay, and this is pretty much the second step where I want to infuse more information in here while giving it the right information or right examples. Okay, so utilize these 2 documents with examples of different types of lead generation ads to craft a final training document that is very detailed on how to replicate these lead generation ads for any industry and audience type. Okay, let's go. Now let's give it some time. Okay, so now I created the whole document, very long document here, all right? Pretty much advertising playbook, frameworks, and examples for any industry. Okay, so he gave us expanded add format sections, visual implementation details, industry adaptation, copy frameworks, visual format gallery, and enhanced audience specific linguistics. Okay, so now we do have all this information. Now, that was the percent part of this prompting exercise. Now let's go and perfect this, make it even better. So now let's double check. Now let's reread the latest document and find out if we are missing anything from the last two documents I gave you. Also, think about any extra in-depth information we could add to make sure we can replicate these ads as close as possible. Now, very important here, think step by step. I like adding this at the ends of the prompts. It's a really good little prompt nugget that you can add to any of your prompts, and it's gonna make it think sequentially and usually gives you better results that way. So here we're pretty much perfecting this document now, asking it to double check, quality check, ask if you can create any more in-depth information. So now let's give it a try, give it some weights. All right, so let's see. Now so it said, after conducting a detailed review, I've made several significant enhancements to our social media advertising playbook. So it added detailed design breakdowns. That we need that because we need to make sure that it generates the images. Included technical specifications, expanded implementation strategies, enhanced campaign structure, created a systematic testing framework, developed an action plan, expanded tools and resources, comprehensive glossary, performance monitoring protocol. Great. Perfect. So now we have a very comprehensive document in here. It looks good. Now you should double check, make sure it's good, and unless you want to add anything else, right? It's always good. So let's see one of these. Creative formats. Also new style. So format that distinguishes the ad as a news article, background image, makes people stop and watch. Third-party validation elements, proof outcome elements, negative headlines often perform better. Story actual news sites, negative framing, controversy secrets, industry disruption. Great. Example implementation. Saturday scenes, money currency highlighted. Okay, perfect. Great. Excellent. So I guess we do have a pretty good and decent document here now. Now let's ask one last time. Now let's double check the final document for quality check. Final. And let's allow it to double check it, because sometimes we miss stuff. Okay, so we found good stuff here. So we had all this. Now it says edit improvements. Okay, so let's see, notable strengths. All right, area for improvement. Let's see if we can improve anything else. Platform diversity, evaluation integration should be expanded. Budget allocation, analytics, case studies. Now we don't need this stuff for our agent that we want to build anyways, because it's just going to be an image generation agent. So we don't need any of these. Okay. If we're creating this document for, let's say, a media buyer or something, and we would need this, and sure. But we don't. So looks like it's good. All right. So after version 22, we have our final document or training document for the new agent that we want to build. So I'm going to copy this contents, create a new Google Doc. I'm going to paste them. Boom. And we have it. So I have the training data now. And what I'm going to do is copy this. All right. So now let's go back into Claude, go into projects. So we're going to use PromptForge, right? Which is the one that the agent that I built to create AI agents, basically. So all we got to do is we got to create a new one. If you're going to create a new project with this, I'll also give you the project knowledge here and instructions. And this will just paste it here, and that's it. That's all you need to have this work. Make it extended, okay? And now what we're gonna do is I need your help crafting the prompt for a new agent that will, let's give it the context, right? That will help us create text to image prompts, for our lead generation business agency. This is the training data we have. Make sure it includes all of the information needed to replicate all of these ad creatives. And also make sure the agent asks the user about for the current ad copy, so they can craft the perfect ad creative for it. Okay. Here is the training data. All right. Make sure this is an extended. And let's copy this whole thing. Paste it here. And let it rip. In the meantime, while this is working, so it said, let's discuss this agent should include. Okay. Identity should be an advertising creative expert that specializes in translating ad copy into effective visual concepts for lead generation. Cool. Should analyze provider ad copy and generate a detailed text to image prompts, then align with the proven high converting ad formats. Yes. The agent needs to understand the social media advertising playbook framework. Correct. All those. Conversational style. We'll use the style. Yes. Steps. Request for ad copy. Analyze the copy to determine the format. Correct. Recommend appropriate visual creative approaches. Generate detailed text prompts. Yes. Should need detailed knowledge of the visual. Yes. Correct. Should we include examples? Yeah, definitely. Yes. Include as many examples as possible. The structure looks good. Let's go. Okay. Now let's let it rip. You see that it broke down the agent in specific building blocks, which I've created here. This is literally the best building blocks you could utilize to create any agent, right? You always got to give it an identity, goal, context, conversational style guidelines, conversational steps, right? So we break down in chunks everything. Important information that you must know or adhere to, and output examples, okay? If it's a conversational bot, then you want a bunch of examples of conversations with or specific conversations between user and the assistant and what it's supposed to say, okay, to be the most effective as possible. But you always want to have the 7 building blocks in it, okay? This is the most important thing for any agent, all right? And ideally, we want to also enclose them in XML tags, which you'll see here. This little tag, little open and close tags here. It says identity, right? And then it ends it out once it finished the identity, which is here, identity, right? This little close tag. So and then it opens for the goal, then it closes in the goal when it finishes the goal, right here, right? So that makes it easier for the agent to understand. It's kind of, hey, this is your identity, this is your goal, like just opening and closing it. Just make sure it starts here and ends here. And that's what you do with all the 7 building blocks pretty much. So right now it's building the whole thing. Examples. Okay, give it a bunch of examples. Great. Create a comprehensive prompt for you, text and image, creative agent. The prompt follows your 7-part framework. Okay, yes, that's what it did. Use it for the copy, okay. And 10 detailed prompts, examples. Great. Let's look at the prompt example, see one of the output, what it's looking like. Meme style advertisement, bright yellow. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, copy this prompt. Okay, perfect. So now, okay, remember the three things. We're gonna present, perfect, and probe. So we presented here, now let's perfect it. Now, let's double check the prompt and make sure we did not miss anything. Also, think about ways that we can go in depth a little more these frameworks in case we are missing anything. All right, very important. And I think step by step. Make sure the output prompts are as detailed as possible to clone and replicate these ads. Okay. Ad creatives. Good. So now let's see what else we could do. All right. So seems like made some changes here. Made several changes. Enhanced conversation steps, more detailed analysis criteria. Great. So if you look at this, expertise includes conversational style. Let's see. Steps. Ask user to provide their ad copy, analyze their ad. Yes. Yes. Good. Recommend well-through precision visual creatives. Generate an extremely detailed text to image prompt. Precise composition of layout. Yes, correct. Set dimensions. Okay, so for our text to image, we don't need the dimensions. Okay, because that's added somewhere else. All right, cool. So we can just remove that, but okay. Expand the context section, great. Explains critical relationship with the copy and remember, good. Okay, memes before and afters, text only, image compositions, audience awareness, great, great, great. Now, examples. Let's see. User ad copy, and then text image prompt. Create a new style address. Okay, background should be slightly darkened. Okay. All right. So this one thing with this examples here. I'm gonna give it some examples of how it should create them, kind of like this one. Okay. Really enhanced technical specifications. Good. Okay. Ultra detailed example, text only format example, includes exact positioning coordinates. Great. Perfect. Now, the only thing is that the text to image prompts are like giving a graphic designer or currently a designer instructions, but are not specific for an LLM. Okay, large language model generating images. Okay, here's an example of a text image prompt. Why is this different? Okay. But we can still, let's give this a try actually. See if this works. Or how it works. I'm gonna put it in here, let's add it here, and let's run it. See what it comes up with. So we can make it even better. So if we can give it examples that actually work already, so we can test them, that'll be the best possible solution. Excellent point. Examples in our prompts, the structure instructions are graphic design rather than effective. Text to image prompts for AI image generators. Is rich descriptive language rather than technical instructions. Great. that is better. We do need the technical exact pixel dimension hex codes, emphasis in mod, amorphous or precise positioning. Use prerogative. Okay, great. So let's see what happens. Okay, that was not that bad actually. But let's see what it comes up with the next. By the way, this stuff sometimes doesn't get the text right, so you might have to generate it a couple times. But it will get it right. So, but let's see how it actually changed this, and then we're gonna test another one, make sure it works. Okay, let's just give it some time. Let's look at this one now. Nah, still doesn't look that good. Okay, let's try it again. See what happens. See, it's not that good. Okay, don't worry about it. Smooth raw. See what happens. But let's see what it changed. It's still changing stuff. Okay, doesn't look that bad. Just a text. So we can keep generating it and it'll give us a text better. It gets to a point that it does give me the actual text correctly. That's the biggest thing with image generation. I don't know why it's so hard to get the text right, but yeah. Okay, let's give it some time. Right, so seems like it did some good changes here. Restructured import information, updated examples, revised conversational steps, and enhanced the content organization. Great. So let's see, let's look at this one then. This is an example that I created for when you finally lose the stubborn 15 pounds. And this is a meme style for fitness industry. Let's see. Let's add that in here and let's generate it. All right, there you go. So it's creating these. Good. Sometimes you gotta regenerate these 2 or 3 times until it gives you the right text. That's the biggest thing. But yeah. All right. So that's that one. Let's see this one, split screen. Okay, let's try this one now. Right, cool. That's a nice ad. Maybe need to adjust this a little bit more. Can I put it on the right? But you see how cool this this thing is. You can just keep generating. So ideally, you could most likely take and test the example prompts and make sure they're all good. And once you test all of these, make sure you put the right ones in here, because just like anything, you're not gonna get it in one shot the first time always, right? So let's say this one that we last tried, it wasn't that good. We can change it for another one that's better, okay? And give it like 10 really good examples so that it could guide itself up from it, all right? So let's see this last one. There you go. This is a really cool tool to we can give them out to a designer to quickly just change the text or add the text to the right side, and that's it. But this is a really good base, right? So what we're trying to do here is just save time. This saves a lot of time, gives you the right images, real cool, faster. Okay, so basically now we have the prompt, happy with it. So what we can do is just copy this. We can put it into our prompt in here. We named it Add Vision prompt. Okay, so that, and then all you gotta do after that is you go into projects. You're gonna create a new project, call it Add Vision. Generates text to image prompts for lead generation ads. Boom. And then make sure you include in here the whole thing that we copied, just a prompt. And that's it. We just created the agent at Vision. Now you have them on your projects, and you can utilize it as much as you want. Wait, the exact AI agent that I use is in the description below. I put all my agents and resources in there for you as well. But it won't stay free forever. These systems have allowed me to free up 80% of my time and focus on the right stuff to grow and help others grow. Now you can use them too. I'm giving it all away for you to succeed today. Also, just do me a quick favor and tap the red button below for me so you don't miss the next video. And I guarantee it's gonna be fire. See you soon.